When money is tight, buying a brand new tractor just isn't realistic for many farmers, but here's the truth. Some of the best tractors ever built are still out there, working hard decades later. In this video, we're counting down the top 7 best used tractors that deliver real strength, proven reliability, and honest value without draining your wallet. And as we go down the list, each tractor gets even more impressive. So make sure you stay with us until number 1. Number 7, the Allis-Chalmers D19. We're starting this list with a tractor that surprises a lot of people, the Allis-Chalmers D19. It's not the first name most folks bring up when talking about used tractors on a tight budget, but that's exactly why it deserves attention. The D19 was introduced in the early 1960s, and at the time, it was a serious machine, with around 66 horsepower. It offered big tractor strength in a package that many farmers could actually afford. Even today, that power-to-price ratio is where the D19 really shines. This tractor was built for heavy work, plowing, disking, pulling large implements. The D19 doesn't shy away from tough jobs. The engine has that deep, steady sound that older farmers recognize right away. It's not high-strung or delicate. It feels mechanical, solid, and confident, like a tractor should. One of the biggest advantages of the D19 is value. On today's used market, it often sells for thousands less than a comparable John Deere from the same era, yet in real-world work, it can hold its own just fine. For farmers who care more about what a tractor can do than what color it is, that matters. The design is straightforward and practical, no complicated electronics. No unnecessary extras, just steel, gears, and an engine designed to work long days. Many D19s are still running today, because they were built before planned obsolescence became the norm. Historically, the D19 also represents something important. It was part of Allis-Chalmers' push to compete directly with the biggest names in American farming, and for a time, they succeeded. The D19 proved that you didn't need to buy the most popular brand to get real performance. That's why this tractor fits perfectly at number 7. The Allis-Chalmers D19 isn't the obvious choice, but it's a smart one. For farmers who need pulling power and reliability without stretching the budget, it can be a genuine bargain. And coming up next, we'll look at a tractor that's far more familiar to many American farmers, and one that earned its reputation in a very different way. Number 6, the Ford 3000. At number 6, we come to one of the most practical tractors ever built, the Ford 3000. It may not look impressive at first glance, but that's exactly the point. This tractor was never meant to show off. It was built to work every single day. The Ford 3000 was introduced in the mid-1960s and quickly earned a reputation for being simple, dependable, and easy to live with. With roughly 38 to 47 horsepower, depending on configuration, it sits in a sweet spot. It has enough power to handle mowing, baling, light tillage, and loader work without being too big or too heavy. One of the biggest strengths of the Ford 3000 is its size. It's compact enough to maneuver around barns, gates, and tight spaces, yet stable enough to feel confident in the field. For small farms, hobby farms, or daily chore work, that balance is hard to beat. This tractor is also known for being easy to start and easy to drive. Many farmers remember Ford 3000s that would fire up on cold mornings when others struggled. The controls are straightforward, visibility is good, and the learning curve is short. And then there's maintenance. The Ford 3000 is easy to repair, and parts are everywhere. Because Ford built so many of them, aftermarket support is still strong today. That means lower repair bills and less downtime. Two things that matter when money is tight. There's a reason people often say, the Ford 3000 is the kind of tractor you can hand to anyone in the family. It's forgiving, predictable, and doesn't demand constant attention. That kind of trust is earned over decades of real-world use. Historically, the Ford 3000 helped define what a modern utility tractor should be. It bridged the gap between old, bare-bones machines and more refined designs, without losing simplicity. That's why it earns the number 6 spot. The Ford 3000 isn't flashy, but it's one of the safest bets you can make on a tight budget. And coming up next, if you're looking for more steel, more weight, and more muscle, The next tractor on our list takes things up a notch. Number 5, the International Harvester 656. At number 5, we have a tractor that represents one of the best balances ever achieved between power, durability, and value, the International Harvester 656. The 656 was built in the late 1960s, during a time when International Harvester focused on making tractors that could handle real farm work without unnecessary complexity. With around 60 horsepower, it sits comfortably between utility tractors and full-size row crop machines. That makes it incredibly versatile for everyday farm use. The heart of the 656 is an IH engine known for long life. These engines weren't designed to be pushed hard, they were designed to last, when properly maintained. Many 656 tractors have logged tens of thousands of hours and are still working today. That reputation didn't happen by accident. Another standout feature is the hydraulic system. The 656 delivers strong, steady hydraulic power, which makes a big difference when running loaders, lifting implements, or doing repetitive tasks. It doesn't feel rushed or strained. Everything moves with control and confidence. The overall design is simple and solid, heavy cast iron, straightforward controls, and very few fragile parts. There's no excess technology here, just proven mechanical systems that farmers understand and trust. Simplicity makes the 656 easier to maintain and cheaper to keep running over the long term. And when it comes to value, the 656 often surprises buyers. On the used market, it typically sells for less than comparable John Deere models, even though it offers similar capability. For farmers watching their budget, that difference matters. There's an old saying among IH owners: the 656 isn't flashy, it just works, day after day. And that's exactly why so many stayed on farms for decades. It's the kind of tractor that becomes part of the routine, quietly doing its job without asking for attention. Historically, the 656 reflects International Harvester's commitment to practical engineering. It wasn't built to impress at the dealership, it was built to earn its keep in the field. That's why it earns the number 5 spot. The International Harvester 656 delivers honest strength, steady performance, and excellent value for the money. But we're only halfway through the list. Up next is a tractor that many people overlook, a hidden gem that might just offer even more than you expect. Number 4, the Massey Ferguson 265. At number 4, we meet a tractor that rarely demands attention, but earns respect every time it's put to work. This is the Massey Ferguson 265, a true example of quiet reliability and long-term value. The 265 was introduced in the mid-1970s, during a period when Massey Ferguson focused heavily on efficiency and practicality. With around 60 to 65 horsepower, it delivers enough power for mowing, baling, loader work, and light tillage, without wasting fuel or overworking its components. What truly defines the 265 is its Perkins diesel engine. Perkins engines are known across American farms for being fuel efficient, smooth running, and long lasting. Many owners will tell you these engines sip fuel compared to others in the same class, and they keep running year after year with very little drama. In operation, the Massey Ferguson 265 feels calm and balanced. There's no harsh vibration, no sense of being pushed too hard. Controls are simple and logical, making it easy for operators of all experience levels. That's one reason why the 265 became so common on family-run farms, where multiple people might use the same tractor. Maintenance is another strong point. The design is straightforward, parts are widely available, and repairs are generally affordable. Over decades of use, that adds up to a low cost of ownership, which is exactly what farmers on a tight budget are looking for. There's a saying often shared among Massey owners: the 265 is the tractor you forget is running until the job is done. It doesn't call attention to itself, it just works steadily in the background, day after day. Historically, the 265 helped cement Massey Ferguson's reputation for building efficient, farmer-friendly machines. It wasn't designed to compete on flash or size, it was designed to last. That's why it earns the number 4 spot. The Massey Ferguson 265 is a smart, economical choice for farmers who value dependability over excitement. And coming up next, we move to a tractor with a very different personality, one that surprises many people once they experience it firsthand. Number 3. The Oliver 1650. At number 3, we reach what many experienced farmers quietly call a hidden gem, the Oliver 1650. This is not a tractor that gets talked about at every auction or dealership, but among people who truly understand machinery, it holds a special place. The Oliver 1650 was built in the late 1960s and early 1970s, a time when Oliver was known for solid engineering and thoughtful design. With around 60 horsepower, it fits perfectly into the all-around farm tractor category. It's strong enough for serious field work, yet refined enough for daily chores. One of the biggest reasons the 1650 is so respected is its Waukesha diesel engine. These engines developed a reputation for being both powerful and long-lasting. They pull smoothly, don't feel stressed, and hold up well even after decades of use. When you hear a 1650 working, the engine sounds steady and confident, not rushed. Another standout feature is how this tractor feels to drive. The Oliver 1650 is known for its balanced weight, smooth power delivery, and stable handling. Many operators say it simply feels right in the seat. Long days are easier when the tractor isn't fighting you. Despite all of this, the 1650 often sells for less than comparable tractors from bigger name brands. That gap between price and performance is where the real value lies. You're paying for steel, engineering, and reliability, not for a badge on the hood. Among collectors and longtime farmers, the Oliver 1650 is often praised as one of the best tractors Oliver ever built. It represents a moment in American farming when machines were designed by engineers who also understood the field. That's why people say the Oliver 1650 is the choice of those who know tractors and don't chase brand names. It earns the number 3 spot because it rewards knowledge. If you understand machinery and want the most tractor for your money, the Oliver 1650 is hard to beat. And now, we move into the final stretch. Up next are the 2 heavy hitters, tractors that defined entire eras and still set the standard today. Number 2, the Case 1070. At number 2, we have a tractor that many people still underestimate, the Case 1070. It's not flashy, it doesn't chase trends, and it was never designed to impress anyone at first glance. But when it comes to real work, this tractor has earned a reputation for quiet strength. The Case 1070 was introduced in the early 1970s as part of Case's move into higher horsepower tractors. With around 100 horsepower, it was built for serious field work, plowing, heavy tillage, and pulling large implements. Day after day, this is not a light utility tractor, it's a workhorse. What sets the 1070 apart is its heavy steel construction. Case tractors from this era were known for thick castings, strong frames, and a feeling of solidity that's hard to find today. When you sit in the seat, everything feels substantial, nothing rattles, nothing feels fragile. Despite its size and power, the 1070 remains surprisingly simple. There's very little electronics involved, which makes it easier to maintain and repair. For farmers on a tight budget, that simplicity translates into lower long-term costs and fewer surprises. Another major advantage is price. On the used market, the Case 1070 often sells for significantly less than comparable high-horsepower tractors from more popular brands. That makes it one of the best values for farmers who need serious pulling power without paying premium prices. Owners often describe it this way: the 1070 doesn't try to impress, it just pulls, plows, and works without getting tired. That reputation didn't come from marketing, it came from decades in the field. Historically, the Case 1070 represents a period when Case focused on building tractors that could compete head-to-head with anyone on strength and durability. It wasn't about refinement, it was about results. That's why it earns the number 2 spot. The Case 1070 is undervalued, overbuilt, and perfectly suited for farmers who need real power on a tight budget. But now, there's only one left, and the tractor at number 1 is the benchmark, the machine that every used tractor is measured against. Number 1, the John Deere 3020. At number 1, we arrive at the tractor that sets the standard for all used tractors, the John Deere 3020. This is the machine every other tractor on this list is measured against. The John Deere 3020 was introduced in 1964. During a turning point in American agriculture. With about 70 horsepower, it delivered more than enough power for plowing, planting, baling, loader work, and daily chores. But what truly set it apart wasn't just horsepower, it was how everything worked together. The engine is legendary, smooth, reliable, and built to last. Many 3020s have worked for decades with only basic maintenance. Paired with that is a hydraulic system that was far ahead of its time, strong, responsive, and dependable. Even today, operators often comment on how capable the hydraulics still feel. Another major reason the 3020 earns the top spot is parts availability. Few tractors in history can match it. No matter where you live in the United States, parts are easy to find, new, used, or aftermarket. That keeps repair costs reasonable and downtime short, which is critical when money is tight. The design itself is a perfect balance of strength and simplicity, heavy cast iron where it matters, straightforward controls, and a layout that feels natural from the first time you sit in the seat. It's a tractor that experienced farmers trust, and younger operators can learn on quickly. Financially, the 3020 also makes sense. While it may cost a bit more upfront than some competitors, it holds its value better than almost anything else. If you ever decide to sell it, there's always a buyer. That kind of resale strength is rare and valuable. Historically, the 3020 helped define what John Deere would become. It wasn't just a successful model, it was a statement. It proved that a tractor could be powerful, reliable, comfortable, and practical all at once. That's why people still say, the 3020 isn't just a tractor, it's the reason John Deere became John Deere. It earns the #1 spot because it does everything well. If you want one used tractor that fits almost any farm, almost any job, and almost any budget plan, the John Deere 3020 is the gold standard. These 7 tractors were never about flash or trends. They were built to work, day after day, season after season, just like the farmers who relied on them, on a tight budget. The smartest choice is often one proven by time, steel, and long hours in the field. So what about you? Have you ever driven one of the tractors on this list? Or is there another machine that earned your trust the hard way? Share your story in the comments below, because here in the heartland of America, strength isn't found only in horsepower, it lives in the hands that guide the wheel, and in the hearts of the people who keep these machines working.